Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Meg Moonbeam, and sorry I'm a little bit late coming on live today. I have just had some amazing help. Oh, I got to look up here. I've just had some amazing help from my husband, Jens, helping me with my new setup here in my office. So if you guys could just let us know in the live chat that you can hear me okay, that you can see me okay, that would be greatly appreciated. Give me a 5x5 and then we'll start to go live for this full moon in Cancer on January 13th, 2025. I see some of you guys are here. It looks okay on my end. It should be okay. Okay, perfect. Yay, it's working. Oh my God. I'm so grateful for Jens. My husband is very technically savvy, and I would never be able to do any of this. New microphone, new setup, new camera. I would be completely lost without him. So thank you so much, Jens, for the help and helping me with my new setup. I'm very, very grateful. So welcome, everybody. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing about the full moon in Cancer on January 13th, 2025 for the collective and for all 12 signs. And this full moon is... oh my goodness. Just wait till I bring the chart up. This is an absolutely wild full moon. So we're going to be getting into it. And before we get into the astrology, as always, you guys, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Meg Moonbeam YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. I really appreciate everybody's support. And also, I'm going to be hosting this very special Pluto in Aquarius Master Workshop on Sunday, January 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be on the Beyond Mystic Academy. And this is going to be a special long form workshop where I'm going to share all about what this transit means. We're going to do a deep dive into the predictions for the whole collective and each of the 12 signs. This is such a powerful transit that we are now in for the next 20 years. So I invite you to join me, my astrology woo-woo family. Come join me for this special workshop. And the link is in the description box below if you'd like to sign up. And if you can't join in live, you can, of course, join in the replay at any time. You can watch it anytime, as many times as you like, going into the future. Also, you guys, I do offer personal astrology readings that are available at the link in the description box below. And I have a bunch of other courses, workshops, all kind of social links, everything you can check out at the link below. So, okay, how is everybody feeling? Let me know in the live chat, our live crew, how everybody is feeling. Our replay crew, let me know how you guys are doing in the comments below. Very curious to hear from you guys how you're feeling with this extremely potent full moon in Cancer that we are now within the full moon portal of. Okay, Yenzi says, sounds and looks great. Okay, thank you so much, Yenzi, because I would never be able to do this without you. And Yenzi, I think you're commenting as me. So I don't know how that is, but you're commenting as me. Just want to let you know that from my YouTube channel. So yeah, we appreciate your guys' patience. We're just getting used to this new setup here. So anyways, this full moon is so potent, you guys. We are having the North Node, first of all, okay, we are having the North Node ingress into the sign of Pisces and the South Node ingress into the sign of Virgo on Saturday, January 11th, 2025. So this is our first full moon with the North Node in Pisces for the last 18 years. It's been 18 years since we've had the North Node in Pisces. So this is extremely powerful. The moon is, of course, at home in the sign of Cancer. Hello, Carol. I see you in the live chat. Very nice to see you. And thank you, Philip. And thank you to Color Fab for the super chats. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. So the moon is at home in the sign of Cancer. Okay. And usually moon in Cancer is chill. Yes, it can be very emotional. It can be a little bit moody. It's very spiritual, but usually moon is comfortable in the sign of Cancer. Of course, full moons are always a point of tension because it's when the sun and the moon are at an opposition point. But this is not a normal full moon in Cancer. Okay, you guys, this is because the full moon is in a conjunction to the planet Mars, only 5 degrees off of being exact. So a very strong conjunction, which Mars is the total opposite energy of Cancer. Mars is about divine masculine and men and anger and frustration, and Mars is the god of war. It's about man, yeah. And Cancer is the sign and archetype in astrology which rules women and the divine feminine and softness and nurturing, taking care of everybody, sometimes at the sacrifice and detriment of one's self. So, Moon in Cancer conjunct Mars. Oh my God, this is some very oppositional energy that we've got going on. And first, as I said, first full moon with the North Node in Pisces. Oh my God, this is a lot going on. So, you guys know full moons are our times in the lunation cycle where it is about completion, release, cleansing, letting go. It's also points of illumination. So it would be very powerful for you to look at your personal birth chart and see where you have 23 degrees of Cancer, what house you have 23 degrees of Cancer, and any planets that you might have within a 5-degree orb of 23 degrees Cancer, because these are specific areas of life that are getting activated and worked with on this full moon. So I got a lot to share on this full moon with you guys. We're going to talk about for the collective, for each of us personally and in the collective. Then we're going to talk about the predictions for each of the 12 signs for this full moon in Cancer. So, as I said earlier, the moon is at home in rulership in the sign of Cancer. Cancer is the sign in astrology that rules emotions, family, our ancestors, home, homelands, privacy, security, the past, nostalgia. Okay, we can be feeling quite nostalgic. Our foundations in life, women, divine feminine, intuition, among many other things. So it's quite a magical energy, and all those Cancerian areas of life are going to be very highlighted with this full moon. We can be having very powerful intuitive feelings and knowings with this full moon, spiritual downloads. Also, our dream time can be very potent. Cancer, as well as the sign as Pisces, both rules, sleep and our dreams and psychic prophetic dreams, lucid dreaming, astral traveling. So if you're someone like myself, I'm sure many of you guys out there are, little weirdos in a good way, like myself. I just kind of lucid dream naturally and sometimes astral travel naturally. So this is a full moon where, with it being in Cancer, which rules sleeps and dreams, and the first full moon with the North Node now in Pisces conjunct Neptune, the ruler of Pisces, we can all be more likely to lucid dream, astral travel, go into different dimensions, which is beautiful and very magical, but we definitely want to stay grounded while we do that and put up protection before sleep. Okay. So being really mindful before you sleep that you're grounded, you feel the protection around you. Because I know for me, when I don't put that protection up before I go to sleep, I can go sometimes into some weird astral realms and places. So let me know, you guys, how your dreams have been lately. I've been having really vivid dreams. Yeah, Color Fab says, I have been having vivid dreams the last 3 nights. I can relate, Color Fab. I've been having the whole past week, actually, extremely vivid dreams. So pay attention to your dreams. And if they don't make sense in the moment, they are likely to make sense down the road, and they can even be quite prophetic. So writing down your dreams, journaling so you don't forget. I know that can be a little bit hard when I wake up. My husband, Jens, who's here, he knows it's very hard to wake me up. I'm a very deep sleeper. And when I do wake up, I'm kind of like comatose for a little bit. And the last thing I want to be doing is writing down my dreams in a journal because I'm like a bear. It takes me a while to wake up. But something that if we can push through, if you're like me, and do that, very important to remember our dreams at this time. Jenny here says, thank you, Jenny, for the question. Would you say with an Aquarius moon traveling into the future during sleep is possible? Ooh, that's a very good question. Totally, Jenny. Yeah, right on. I mean, and that's actually really cool that you're bringing that up because depending on what our moon sign is, of course, the moon rules Cancer, sleep, dreams, as well as Pisces and Neptune. Whatever our moon sign is can be the types of dreams that we can have on a regular basis, the kind of dream and sleep time we're likely to have. So, yeah, Jenny, Aquarius rules the future. So, for sure, those of you with a moon in Aquarius, or even if you are in Aquarius, you can have very prophetic, futuristic dreams with this full moon in Cancer. For example, I'm a moon in Capricorn, so I might be dreaming about work and doing these video live streams. Thank you, Jenny, for that. Suzanne says, what would you describe as a vivid dream? That is a very good question. What I would personally describe as a vivid dream would be while I'm in the dream time, it feels like it's real life. It feels like I'm sitting in this chair right now, talking to you guys on the camera, doing this live. It feels like real life. That's to me what vivid dreams feel like. I think it can be different person to person. So let me know what it means to you guys. But yeah, vivid dreams, very visual, feeling like it's real, can be very action oriented in the dream time too. And I'm happy that you brought that up, Suzanne, as well, because with the moon in conjunction to Mars, I mean, there's a lot of different expressions and meanings to the full moon in Cancer that we're going to talk about with it being conjunct Mars. But one of them can be that our dream time, our sleep can be very active. We may be like exercising, running, doing very active things in the dream time more than usual. And we are in the full moon portal from today, as I'm filming this video, Friday, January 10th, 2025, all the way until the 16th. What day is the 16th? I think that's Thursday, January 16th. So the 3 days before and after a full moon, we are in the portal of that lunation. So, oh my God, there's so much for me to share with you guys about this full moon. So I said full moons are times of cleansing and release. And with this full moon being in its home sign, where it likes to be, even though it's conjunct Mars, which is a little bit challenging and intense, we'll talk more about that. It is very, very magical and powerful, where this is a full moon portal of, I believe, miraculous healing of things that no longer serve us, that we've been holding in our emotional body, ruled by Cancer, or we've been holding in our ancestral lineage, ruled by Cancer. Family issues can go through huge healing breakthroughs. This is a full moon where we want to be tuning into our emotions. Cancer rules our emotions and our emotional body. And if you've been struggling with any kind of heavy emotions, this is a great full moon to process them, to move through them, by letting yourself cry, by letting yourself feel your emotions. I'm hearing spirits say in a sober state. Okay. So to, actually not be drunk or high or tuned out or in escapism, to be very, very sober and feel your feelings, to let yourself cry, to let yourself express anger. I think with this full moon conjunct Mars, there's going to be a lot of repressed anger and frustration coming to the surface from not just today, from not just the current time, but I want you guys to remember Cancer rules the past in Western astrology. Cancer rules our memories and the past and nostalgia. So it's likely that it's going to be a lot of things that have brought us pain or anger or resentment or frustration, emotions that are unprocessed from the past. And Cancer can even be the deep past of our ancestral lineage or our childhood, or even when we were in the womb. Okay, Cancer rules to be in the womb and motherhood and fertility. So this is going deep, you guys. This is a very deep full moon, to say the least. And it's interesting because Cancer is a water sign. The moon is a water element, and Mars is a fire planet and rules over Aries, which is a fire sign, as well as Scorpio, which is a little bit of water and fire. So it's not a normal full moon in Cancer where it's very watery and just kind of chill and not that action oriented. It's conjunct Mars. This is fire and water together. So we can also be having kind of like moodiness and extremes in our emotions, where there can be moments during this full moon portal of feeling really happy and blissful and inspired and action oriented. And then other moments where we could be feeling quite down and like really heavily nostalgic or emotional or moody. So emotional extremes are to be expected, and this will be most affecting if you are a Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or one of the cardinal signs, which is Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. You are going to be the most affected. Or if you have major placements in Cancer, you'll be the most affected. And any planetary placements, major placements in your chart within 5 degrees either side of 23 degrees of Cancer, you'll be very activated. I've got my Mars at 22 degrees of Cancer. So holy guacamole, you guys, this full moon is like right on my Mars. I wonder what's going to happen. Hopefully I don't have an emotional freak out on Yenzi. I've definitely been feeling very moody lately with this Mars retrograde, as a Mars in Cancer person and as a Scorpio ruled by Mars. So shout out to all my Aries and my fellow Scorpio Sun, Moon, and Risings out there. Larry is laughing at me, that are ruled by Mars in astrology or ruled by Pluto. We're in this Mars retrograde during this full moon. Mars retrograde is now in Cancer as of January 6th. So this is very emotionally volatile, also with the Mars in opposition to Pluto. Okay. So there can be very intense personal and collective events. This will be the most highlighted if you literally are someone in the transits having transit Pluto or transit Mars on, the angles of your personal chart or conjunct major placements in your birth chart. I want to talk a little bit later on in the video about how literally the very intense wildfires in Los Angeles have to do with this full moon in Cancer, have to do with this Mars retrograde, Mars in opposition to Pluto. And I'm going to pull up the transits of the chart for Los Angeles in just a little bit. But first, I want to give a collective overview for all of us on this full moon in Cancer. Okay. So remembering that this is an emotionally volatile, intense full moon, also passionate. Okay. Because even though Mars is at fall in Cancer, and shout out to all my fellow Mars and Cancer people, that can definitely be a challenging placement because it can be hard to process your emotions, hard to assert your boundaries, challenging in your divine masculine side. But the gift of the Mars in Cancer placement is it's extremely psychic. Some of the most psychic people I know have Mars in Cancer, some of the most spiritual people I know. So, there's a lot of different factors in this full moon that are highly spiritual and magical. I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Wow, there's a bunch of Cancers in the chat. Interesting. This is going to be a big one for you. What I also wanted to say about Mars is, Mars is passion and Mars is sex and Mars is our primal nature, our primal desires, right? So this can also be a moon of sexy time, feeling horny, and it can actually be good for some sexy time, okay, which is natural. And I'm a Scorpio. I, feel comfortable talking about sex. It can be something taboo sometimes to talk about, but it's a natural thing. And actually, with this moon conjunct Mars, that can be one of the astrological remedies to move through this very intense full moon is, sex and tantric practices and exercise, also ruled by Mars. Also, creativity. Sassy Cindy says frisky. Yeah, a lot of people will be feeling frisky for sure. Excuse me. You may also notice that, like in the pets, in our animals and pet friends, that they may be a little bit more frisky than usual with this full moon. So also can be very creatively charged. We can be coming up with some cool new creative ideas. Cancer being a water sign is one of the most creative signs in astrology. So just want to highlight again, and I know I keep saying it, you guys, but it's a really big theme with this full moon. Repressed anger and frustration running high that is stemming from the past, coming up to the surface to be released. So I love this full moon in Cancer for processing and releasing those emotions that are from the past, any heavy traumas in our emotional body from the past, releasing them in healthy, directed action ways, whatever ways that resonates with you. This full moon also is at 23 degrees, which is an Aquarius degree in Nicholas Stojanovich's degree theory. And so all the things that are Aquarian are going to be very highlighted with this full moon as well. And it's interesting because not only is this full moon at an Aquarius degree, 23 degrees, but the moon is in an exact sextile, positive supportive aspect to Uranus at 23 degrees of Taurus. So the moon is at an Aquarius degree and exactly sextile Uranus, the ruling planet of Aquarius. There is a lot going on with this full moon, you guys. It's Cancer, it's Mars, it's Uranus and Aquarius. So there's also elements to this full moon of weirdness and shocks and surprises and unpredictability. And I don't know about you guys, but I've just been really feeling, the past few days, ever since these Los Angeles wildfires have happened, the unpredictability of that, the shocks, the instability of that. So, very collective, unstable world events can be going on. And of course, that Uranus, right, ruler of Aquarius, is at his fall position of Taurus and has been there since 2018. Uranus, instability, Taurus, nature, weather, anything having to do with outside, natural disasters, right? So we can also see possibly some divine intervention towards the wildfire situation. People being very helpful to each other. Hopefully, I think the astrology is showing that the wildfires will stop sooner than later. I think the portal of this full moon will bring in divine intervention through not just spirit, but everybody's prayers and collective positive energy being directed to our loved ones in LA. Aquarius is not just unpredictability and shocks and surprises, but it's, as I said, weirdness, the future, right? So what we let go of from the past that may be heavy and burdensome is allowing us to step into the future, lightness. It's helping us to step into the age of Aquarius, that Aquarius frequency. Aquarius also rules friends and community. So there can be a theme with this full moon of not just letting go of family, familial, emotional issues and burdens, but also things having to do with friends and our like-minded community. There may be some friendships coming to a close. There may be some community or group connections coming to an ending point as well. Also, Uranus is very creative. So there's like multiple different things with this full moon showing to unleash your creativity through some of those very passionate, intense emotions that may be coming up. You can write a beautiful song or make a beautiful painting or, do some amazing photography, any kind of creative practices that you love to do. So again, you guys, first full moon with the North Node in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. Now, I did a whole separate video on my YouTube and Rumble channels. I can't even remember what day that was because I go live all the time. I think that was like on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. I did a whole North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo transit video where I broke that down very in depth for the whole collective and each of the 12 signs. This is such a special North Node in Pisces transit, you guys, because it's with Neptune in Pisces, the ruling planet of Pisces, one of the dispositors. And we have not had that since 1857. So the last time we had Neptune and the North Node in Pisces was the rise of the modern day spiritualism movement, where it became safe after the witch trials of the 1600s, 1700s, to start being woo woo, to start being spiritual again out in public and doing those practices. And not so much about religion, right? But more the spirituality. Sagittarius rules religion. Pisces is spirituality because Pisces, the last sign in astrology, the most magical sign, if you will, if I don't mind myself saying, is about oneness and bliss and enlightenment, right? And when you have a real spiritual experience, whether that's through meditation, whether that's through visiting a sacred site, plant medicine, sound healing, whatever you do, you feel the oneness of all things. You feel the unconditional love that is connected through all things, right? Which to me, at least, is that Piscean real deal spirituality. So, such a beautiful energy now that the North Node is going into Pisces, very spiritual vibration with this full moon. We've also got at the time of this full moon, Mars is it going to be exact? Yeah, Mars exactly trine Neptune. So I like to call Mars, also Uranus, they're like the Energizer Bunny planets. So if they're in an aspect to anything, they're like energizing it even further. So Mars conjunct the moon in trine to Neptune is energizing Neptune even more. So this could be like many of us can be having extremely spiritual woo-woo experiences with this full moon. Increased synchronicity, increased magic, increased signs. This is not a full moon where I would advise setting intentions. This is a full moon of letting go and miraculous healings and being open to the downloads of illumination that spirit wants to bring forward to us of divine wisdom. So this is a great full moon to rest, do ceremonies, some ceremonies that I would recommend because we've got the water element with the full moon being in Cancer and the fire element with Mars being conjunct this moon. It would be, do things that bring water into heat, hot water, ceremonies involving salt baths, saunas, going to the spa as a ritual, drinking tea, sitting with a fire, uh, doing essential oils like peppermint that are cooling, maybe drinking teas like cinnamon tea. I've got my cinnamon tea currently in my haunted mug. Working with warm water as sacred ritual to release what no longer serves us. Family time can be good with a full moon in Cancer, but remember that Mars is conjunct this full moon. Mars rules conflict, okay? So there can be more of a propensity for conflict with family members. Want you guys to be mindful of that, okay? So might not be the best weekend coming up to have extremely intense conversations with family members. Do whatever you got to do. Sometimes life happens and we need to do that. But maybe wait until the end of next week to have some crazy intense conversations because people are very emotionally loaded with this full moon. Okay, so want to bring up a couple more collective things and then we'll get into each of the 12 sign readings. Cancer in astrology rules the countries, the United States and Canada. Both countries are Cancer suns in Western astrology. So both countries are being very highlighted with this full moon in Cancer. In the chart of the United States, this full moon is going to be 1 degree off of being exactly conjunct the natal Mercury of the United States. The US has its Mercury, 24 degrees of Cancer. The full moon is going to be at 23 degrees of Cancer. US has Mercury, 24 degrees of Cancer in the 8th house of Scorpio. So you can't make this stuff up. And it's crazy because I'm looking at charts all the time and I should be like, oh my God, but I see it all the time, how literally everything shows up in the astrology charts, which could kind of drive you a little bit crazy and has at times driven me a little bit crazy, but I've learned how to not get too overly obsessed with it as a Scorpio and freaked out by it. But what freaks me out by this is that we've been having these LA wildfires, and I'm going to share these slides with you that I made in just a moment. We've been having these wildfires in Los Angeles, okay, which is a city. So affecting a city affecting neighborhoods. Mercury in astrology rules neighborhoods and cities. So this full moon is conjunct the USA's Mercury in Cancer, right? In the eighth house of Scorpio, crisis and very intense emergency situations. So it literally shows up in the chart of the US that there's likely to be a neighborhood or city or sets of cities that are going through some sort of crisis situation during this full moon. So again, sending lots of prayers and love to all our LA, California soul family out there. I've been sending lots of love, been thinking about you guys so much. Really, really intense what's going on with you guys over there. And I wanted to share as well a little bit on the astrology of Los Angeles at this time. Just bear with me one second. You guys, it looks like I'm missing a slide, and I just want to make sure I got all my shit together before I bring up this slide. Where did it go? Okay, there it is. Perfect. So I was going to do a whole separate video this weekend on the astrology of Los Angeles, but I've got a lot to do preparing for my Pluto and Aquarius Master Workshop, so I'm not going to have time for doing that. So I'm just going to share it with you guys in this video because it relates to this full moon in Cancer, activating the United States natal Mercury in the eighth house. So, and also, Mars in Cancer in opposition to Pluto at a full moon in Cancer could be in the very adverse expression, which we are seeing, wildfires and fire emergencies. So Los Angeles's birthday, excuse me, you guys, is September 4th, 1781 at 9:18 a.m. The city of Los Angeles is having very intense astrology in 2025, 2026, 2027. LA is having its first Pluto return. Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, transformation, destruction, crisis, secrets, very intense stuff, extremes, and more. I know, I'm a Scorpio. Pluto returns happen only about every 240 years. So people don't have Pluto returns, but countries or cities or, states, if they survive long enough, will have a Pluto return. While January 2025 LA fires are happening, LA's Pluto return is beginning. Pluto is currently at 1 degrees of Aquarius, and LA's natal Pluto is 4 degrees of Aquarius. So check this out, you guys. This is the birth chart of Los Angeles. And Los Angeles, when it was born, was at Pluto 4 degrees of Aquarius in 1781. So Pluto being at, 1 degrees of Aquarius now is within a 3-degree orb, within a very strong orb of the natal Pluto, starting the Pluto return. So this is going to be very intense. And I want to share this with you guys because I think it is an important, subject for the collective. Excuse me, you guys. I'm just getting over a little bit of a cold, but I also want to share this for all of my lovely soul family out there that are from Los Angeles or in the California area so that you are prepared for this current and upcoming astrology of Los Angeles, okay? Because this is very, very intense. Los Angeles is going through a death and rebirth. Evil and negative energies are being exposed and cleansed from this place in very weird and shocking ways, Aquarius. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying that these wildfires are punishing Los Angeles, punishing the rich and the famous and the people that live out there, okay? I love you guys, and I don't want to come across that way. What I mean is Pluto is the planet that is the destroyer and is the master cleanser. And there has been a lot of very negative energy in Los Angeles within the past 240 years of it being a city and being a city and area that has a huge influence over the world through the movie entertainment industry. The word Hollywood in its root is a plant that was actually used in ancient witchcraft to brainwash people. So even the term Hollywood literally means to brainwash in its ancient root. So, it's not the people being punished, it's the land going through a cleansing. It's Pluto bringing a huge cleansing to that area. There will be 5 exact Pluto return dates of Los Angeles, which is very intense and what I want to bring to everybody's attention, particularly if you're in that area, because there will be continued very intense events coming up, okay? These exact Pluto return dates are March 11th, 2026, July 4th, 2026, January 15th, 2027, October 3rd, 2027, and November 1st, 2027. Also, I am multi-streaming on YouTube and my Rumble, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know there's a lot more that I could say about Los Angeles and what's really going on there, but I kind of got to be careful over here on the YouTube, but I think a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, welcome to Pluto and Aquarius. You'll be finding out very soon. So during the time that these fires started in LA in January 2025, we are having Mars retrograde in opposition to Pluto in Aquarius, one of the most challenging, volatile, adverse, and crisis-oriented astrological aspects. Mars rules fire. Mars and Pluto are the 2 ruling planets of Scorpio. Mars also rules Aries. These planets rule crisis situations, emergency responders, life and death. And it's literally like crazy life and death situation going on over there. The day before the fires started on January 6, 2025, Mars retrograde entered his fall sign of Cancer, the sign that rules homes, homelands, family, emotions, nostalgia, US and Canada. This current transit of Mars-Pluto opposition is conjunct Los Angeles's midheaven and IC. These are the 2 top and bottom angles of the chart. And I'll just show you guys this here quickly. Right, so Pluto is exactly conjunct the IC of Los Angeles, which is the bottom, most vulnerable, sensitive part of the chart. And transit Mars, which is in opposition to Pluto at the moment, is conjunct Los Angeles's midheaven, the top of the chart. 2 angles. If you're ever going through a transit of particularly one of the big outer planets conjunct one of your angles, that is huge and has a very big influence on your life for sure. So this opposition thus has a huge influence on the city and makes sense that one of the adverse outcomes could be a fire, Mars rules fires, affecting homes and families. Cancer rules those things. In strange, unprecedented circumstances, if you guys catch my drift, potentially unnatural circumstances. Pluto in Aquarius in opposition to Mars. Neptune is in Pisces at the moment. Not everything is as it seems. And there is brainwashing trying to be done through darker forces as to how this fire was started. But when you tune into the common sense and you're grounded and you look at all the facts, very obvious as to how this fire was started. If you guys catch my drift, okay? And last slide that I've prepared for you guys here on the astrology of LA is we're having this full moon. I made a typo here on this slide, so sorry, you guys. It's at 23 degrees of Cancer, not 20 degrees, on January 13th, 2025. This full moon is in opposition, challenging aspect to the natal Mars of Los Angeles. Again, Mars rules fires, emergency responders, crisis events, men and masculine professions. Interesting that this Los Angeles fire crisis is also bringing into the spotlight the current LA Fire Department that is headed by an LGBTQ plus chief and marshals. These roles traditionally held by men and known to value common sense, Mars, and not woke agenda policies in fire department hiring. So there's a lot, even though this is a very tragic situation, and I'm sending so much love to everyone being affected, there is a lot being outed through this situation. And I think a lot of Californians and I think a lot of people worldwide are going to wake up more into their common sense and become grounded through this very intense tragedy. So also this full moon in Cancer on January 13th is in the sign that rules homes, properties, families, homelands, emotions, as I've been saying. And this lunation is at, I made a typo there again, Aquarius degree. So experiments, unpredictability, unnatural things, right? So, very intense stuff, you guys. Super, super intense. So, we've broken down what this full moon in Cancer means for the collective. Let me know, everybody, in the comments below or in the live chat, how you're feeling, what's resonating, if you're already picking up on some of the energies of this full moon. And before we get into the readings for each of the 12 signs, let's maybe pull some cards, shall we? On this full moon. And I'm so again, I'm going to shout out my husband Jens. Thank you so much, Yensi, for creating this new setup for me. Look at how cool this looks, you guys. I got this new microphone. I got this awesome new setup. I'm so grateful to Jens, my husband, for helping me with this. So behind me, I have all my oracle cards. What kind of oracle cards should I pick? Let's see. Tim, hi, Tim says, the new setup looks and sounds great. A very professional podcast vibe. Yay. Thank you so much. Let's see. What card should I pick? I hope you guys can still hear me. Let's pick. Ooh. We'll do a couple different decks. The Healing Waters deck. Because, of course, I don't know why that's not. Oh, I got to hold it like this so you guys can see it. The Healing Waters Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell, because, of course, Cancer is a water sign. So we'll pull from that one. And let's also pull. We'll do something a little bit different. I don't know why this microphone makes me want to talk in a little bit of a lower voice sometimes. I got to get used to this. And we'll also pull from the medicine cards, which I don't pull from that much, but I feel like this is a very potent, strong full moon in Cancer. Holy guacamole. We're going to get the medicine cards, which give us very real deal, profound support and guidance. Okay. So I'm going to ask the universe, all that supports us for our highest good, what's our divine guidance for this full moon in Cancer on January 13th, 2025, and the days surrounding it that we are within the full moon portal? Let's see what we got here. I'm going to pull one card from each of these decks. Ooh. I love Rebecca Campbell's cards. Can you guys see it? If I go like this, no, that's not going to work. Okay, we'll have to figure out how to do that moving forward. So this one is Ride the Waves, Life Lessons and Growth you will get through this. Ride the waves. I guess you guys can see it out as I'm holding that. And that makes sense because I feel every single day that I wake up from my very intense slumbers, I've been sleeping very intensely lately, I feel like I'm riding waves every single day. And I know probably a lot of you guys are feeling that too. So that's even something I'm seeing Spirit show us that that's even one way that we can work with this full moon in Cancer is if you feel like it's too much and it's too intense, whether that's physically, emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, to like just pretend that you're on a surfboard and move your body like you're riding the wave of whatever energy you're processing through, whether that's physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain or issue that you're processing through. Move your body like you're riding the wave. Do things that connect you to the element of water. I said earlier, taking salt baths, making sure you're drinking really good water during this full moon is very important. Green-Eyed Crow says, this too shall pass. Yes, remembering that this too shall pass. We are in a very intense time. And like George Harrison says, all things must pass. All things must pass away. Nothing lasts forever. I love that song by George Harrison. That'll be our song of the lunation. George Harrison, all things must pass. Okay, our medicine card for this full moon. These cards are so powerful. These these animal totem medicine cards. What's our animal? And I've been really feeling the animals. Been sending so much love to the animals all over the world, and in particular in the wildfires in Los Angeles. Oh my goodness. Let's send lots of prayers to those animals. Ooh, rabbit. We've got the rabbit. Rabbit, that's one I don't know if I've ever personally pulled the rabbit before. Let's see what the lovely medicine cards book says about rabbit. Rabbit, of course, is a very gentle energy. I know it has a lot to do with fertility. Scared little rabbit. Oh my God, you cannot make this stuff up, you guys. Scared little rabbit, please drop your fright. Running doesn't stop the pain or turn the dark to light. I'm hearing Spirit say with this card, what are you scared of feeling? Is there something that you've been scared of feeling into? Okay, that'll vary person to person. The rabbit represents fear. That's one of the things it can represent, our fears and what we're scared of, what we're being timid of. Here's the lesson. If you pulled rabbit, stop talking about horrible things happening and get rid of what if in your vocabulary. This card may signal a time of worry about the future or of trying to exercise your control over that which is not yet in form. The future. Stop now. Write your fears down and be willing to feel them. Guys, you cannot make this freaking stuff up. Every time we pull cards with the moons, it's like exactly what we're going through. I'm going to say that again. Write your fears down and be willing to feel them. This full moon in Cancer is all about feeling your emotions, the ones that have been repressed and the ones that are going to be coming up. Breathe into them and feel them running through your body into Mother Earth as a giveaway. Ooh, this is, wow. So we got the rabbit as our guide, the rabbit as our messenger, supporting us in releasing our fears, supporting us, and also gentleness and vulnerability, which I feel can also be a very big strength. Sassy Cindy says, rabbits reproduce. They are frisky. That's right, Sassy Cindy. We were talking about with Mars being conjunct this full moon, it can be quite frisky, and rabbits are very frisky animals. So true. Okay, thank you, universe, for those beautiful cards. I'm going to be visualizing we're riding a wave through this full moon. We're riding the tidal wave of this intensity. Now, let's get into each of the 12 signs for this full moon in Cancer. Let me know in the live chat or the comments below what your sun, moon, or rising sign is. Carol says, I like the rabbit. It knows stillness and knows when to take action. Discernment, knowing when to speak and not to speak, knowing when to move and not to move, knowing right action and quiet action. That is so beautiful, Carol. Thank you so much for that. And so true. Discernment. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to get into each of the 12 signs. Hello, Margie. Nice to see you in the live chat. Going to take a sip of my cinnamon hot tea, which is one of the ways to work with this full moon, drinking teas, hot water, warm water, again, through teas, baths, saunas, spas, whatever you feel like. Essential oils. Okay. And I'm sorry, you guys, if my voice sounds a little bit weird at times, because Jens and I have both been getting over this little bit of a cold. So, okay. Aries, Aries, Aries. What have we got for you guys? Well, This full moon at 23 degrees of Cancer on January 13th is happening in your fourth house. Okay. So this is really highlighting your home, your family, your emotional foundations, your ancestors. Aries, this is a fantastic full moon to be doing emotional and or ancestral healing, to be spending time in your home, maybe cleaning out the home, okay, because full moons are about cleansing and release, perhaps doing some feng shui, doing a little bit of smudging. And there can be maybe some family issues coming to the surface. You can be noticing, Aries, that you may be a little bit more emotional and emotional reactive than usual with this full moon in Cancer in your fourth house. Also, very powerful time for dreams, sleep, and rest. So I would say, Aries, even though you're one of the most energetic signs in astrology, remembering to the importance of rest and chilling out in your home and your family at the time of this full moon. And there can be very divine, miraculous breakthroughs with the North Node and Neptune and Pisces conjunct with Saturn, with Venus, all in your 12th house. Very spiritual, intuitive energy and downloads as well. So love you, Aries, sending lots of love your way, and have a happy full moon. Taurus, sun, moon, and risings. And guys, listen most importantly to your rising and your sun. And you can also listen to your moon for more personal psychological interpretations. Okay. So, Taurus, you guys are having this full moon, 23 degrees of Cancer in your third house. So, this is a full moon where you're going through a completion or release, illumination in those third house areas of your local environment and neighborhood, your day to day activities, friends, how you communicate, what you learn. There may be very emotional conversations that you are having at the time of this full moon. This is actually a good full moon to be having real deal emotional conversations, perhaps with friends, women, your mother, family. You may be starting to get interested in a new esoteric, intuitive subject. It is a good time to be researching your homelands, rather, your ancestral lineage as well. So, one of the lighter houses, Taurus, to be having a full moon in Cancer, but definitely you can be feeling like wanting to express your emotions through your words, through journaling, through writing, maybe even on social media, being mindful of not going completely emotionally overboard on social media with this full moon in your third house. But also, I like this full moon for you going into your local community. Third house is the local community, and celebrating the full moon, whether that's at a drumming circle, a dance, a sound bath, uh, whatever resonates with you. So, very nice full moon for you, Taurus. Nothing too intense going on, even though we do have Pluto on your midheaven, still in an opposition to Mars in Cancer. But that's for another video. Big work up levels that you guys are going through at the moment. So, love you, Taurus, so much. And I'm sending you lots of cosmic love your way. Okay, Geminis, happy full moon in Cancer. You guys are having this full moon in your second house. So this full moon can be, the completion of values that no longer serve you. Perhaps there's been values that you have been, or self-worth tendencies that you've been holding on to or believing, that come from your family, that come from your mother, okay, or your ancestors, all things ruled by Cancer. So this is a full moon where it's good for you to be reflecting on your self-worth and what you value, okay? And what is that saying, you guys? Like, what you believe you attract. I'm butchering this saying right now. What you think you attract, what you believe you attract, one of those woo-woo things. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Gemini, it's so true. How we value ourselves is what we attract towards ourselves. So something for you to be reflecting and looking at with this full moon. There can be some income streams coming to a completion point. And also your work and income that brings you passion and makes you feel good and self-nurtured, Cancer is being illuminated at this time as well. Second house is also our pleasures and enjoyments of life. So, with this full moon, it is a good time to be doing things that bring you pleasure. You've got Mars there too. So, it can be good for some sexy time, good for a little bit of romance, spending time in nature as well. So, not one of the super heavy houses to be having this full moon, but definitely want to be looking at your value and self worth and letting go of if you're holding anything in those areas from your family or your ancestors. Okay. And with this moon exactly in sextile to Uranus, we can be nostalgic, we can be thinking about the past, but with that sextile into Uranus, also thinking about forward into the future, what we want to create as there's income or perhaps work situations coming to an ending point, you can be creatively inspired with new ways of income and new ways to go towards your dreams. So pay attention to the downloads that you're receiving, Gemini. Love you guys, and I'm sending lots of cosmic love your way. Okay, Cancers, happy full moon in Cancer, your annual full moon in Cancer. And as I've been talking about, oh my God, this one is such a doozy. So if you happen to be Cancer that you've just like gone to this part of the video and you haven't watched the whole first almost hour of this video, you're going to want to rewind and listen to what I've talked about, okay? Because everything definitely applies to you big time in a very amplified way. Cancer, this is a full moon that, as I've been talking about, with it in your sign, conjunct Mars in a trine to the North Node, now in Pisces, conjunct Neptune. This is a spiritual breakthrough point for you, Cancers. This is if there has been blockages or heaviness from the past that you've been having a challenging time dealing with, really having to do with anything from your own self-value, from your identity, the foundations of your life, relationships, maybe how you've been giving too much to others. That can be a huge issue for Cancers, how you give too much of your energy away to others at times. This full moon is highlighting that, and you can have miraculous breakthroughs in healing some of those issues, in moving forward. I highly recommend Cancers take this full moon to spend time in sacred practice, any kind of ceremony, ritual that resonates with you, meditation, prayer. With this full moon in your first house, in your sign, in trine to the North Node and Neptune in your ninth, your higher consciousness is being activated. There's very divine, I'm going to say miracles coming forward for you, Cancers. And I'm getting the sense that there can be very heightened, maybe even intense truths being revealed to you at the time of this full moon of perhaps where you've been giving too much of your energy away to others. Okay. Because that can be a classic issue for some of my Cancers out there. And I got my Mars in Cancer. So I feel you guys and I can really relate to you guys. I definitely have challenge with boundaries sometimes, especially if someone's struggling that I love around me. But as we're going into the Gregorian year of 2025, we are having absolutely historical transits also going into 2026, where things are going to be so intense, and it's not the end of the world. I don't want to scare you guys, but there's very intense transits that we're going to be having where the systems and structures of the world as we know it are going to be falling apart. Okay. We're already seeing that literally, like Los Angeles is burning. Absolutely crazy. We cannot baby people through that, Cancer. And sometimes that's a tendency that we can have. Cancer placements is we just want to save everybody and baby everybody and be everybody's mommy. And no, it's time to let that go. Okay. I'm just going to say that. This is a full moon for you to nurture yourself and to be honest about where you're directing your energy. Mars in Cancer, where you've given away your energy, Mars retrograde, and how do you need to take that back? Do you need to assert a boundary? Do you need to have a better self-care practice? Okay, so very, very powerful full moon for you. Hope what I've said has resonated, and I'm sending lots and lots of cosmic love your way. Next, we go to our Leo sun, moon, and risings. Leos, you guys are having this full moon in Cancer in your 12th house. Ooh, this is very, very dreamy. This is very, very magical. Okay. Leos, I know that you guys like to be in the spotlight and you are here to be in the spotlight and shine in your gifts. Okay. But this full moon in Cancer happening in your 12th house is actually in natural alignment for you to be spending time alone behind the scenes, maybe even by yourself in reflection. Hermit mode. Okay. So, not saying you need to go, totally like in the woods by yourself, cut off from society forever. Just saying, for this full moon in Cancer, hi, MJ. Thank you so much for the super chat. Mwah. Love you and miss you, my soul sister. This is a full moon from Friday, January 10th. We start to be in the full moon portal. Exact day is on January 13th. Portal goes until January 16th. Spend time on your own. Okay. See how it feels to be on your own and see what divine wisdom and insights come through when you are on your own. That is something, you guys, that is so powerful, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know this and I don't have to tell you guys, but when you get away from other people and you spend time on your own, you let go of everybody else's stuff and you come into your own energy. Okay. Just 1 second, you guys. We're having some weird freaking comments in the Rumble and I have to block somebody. So just, sorry, you guys, bear with me 1 second here. Yeah, you're telling me that I'm an evil witch. No, thank you. Just 1 second, you guys. It is distracting and there's nothing else better for you to do. Okay. Sending you lots of love, whoever that person is posting those really weird comments on Rumble. Sending you lots of love. I don't accept those weird ass things that you're saying to me while I'm doing a live stream. Okay. So, Leos, sorry about that distraction. Yeah, really good full moon for you to be on your own, in reflection, in meditation, coming back into your own energy. Very, very creative. Okay. Potently creative as well. The 12th house rules creativity, dreams, fantasies, creative genius, and Cancer is very creative as well. Dizzy says, I actually love being alone with my fur babies. I know, I love my fur babies too. LOL, Leo here. Oh, that's so cute, Dizzy. And the fur babies are so good for us to have around at this time. So, Leos, also, I know I've been saying it to the whole collective, but for you in particular, pay attention to your dreams. 12th house is dreams. Write them down, do some dream work, and make time for good rest at the time of this full moon. There can also be a major cleansing and completion of like heavy karmic issues or subconscious patterns. The 12th house can be karma, and the subconscious. So this is very powerful for you, Leos, and I hope what I've said resonated, and I'm sending lots of cosmic love your way. Okay, we're going to go to the Virgos next. I'm just going to take another sip of my cinnamon tea. Okay. Yeah, I'm used to the weird ass. My whole life has been people calling me a crazy ass witch. Okay, I'm used to it. There is nothing that you can say to me. I'm talking to whoever's on Rumble, if they're still on the Rumble. There's nothing you can say to me that will stop me from doing astrology, which is a natural spiritual science that is being of service to people. And I'm having crazy ringing in my ears as I'm saying that. So, love you, sending love, sending light. Moving on. Okay, Virgo, sun, moon, and risings. You guys are going to be having this full moon in Cancer in your 11th house. So this is really interesting because I've been talking about how this full moon is going to be at an Aquarius degree. The 11th house, of course, is the Aquarius ruled areas of life. The full moon is at an Aquarius degree. It's an exact sextile to Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, and happening in your Aquarius house. So Virgos, Now, we've just entered the full moon portal, but very curious to hear from you guys. What the heck is going on, Virgos? Because this is likely to be a very weird, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in a bad way. To me, weird is just different, off the cuff, not normal, which I love. This full moon is going to be weird, unpredictable, random, unexpected. Okay, total Aquarius weirdness, which is kind of fun for you Virgos because you are very, very grounded, which is one of your gifts. It's going to be fun in its unpredictability. With this full moon in your 11th house, also, there may be the ending or the completion of a long-term goal that that has come to fruition, or you feel like tweaking. Again, you guys, this full moon is not a good full moon to be setting intentions. We're gonna wait until our next new moon in Aquarius. Fantastic new moon. It's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, in a trine to Jupiter. So very lucky new moon. That's where we're going to want to set our intentions out. This is a full moon of letting go, of processing. And if you're listening to this video and you're like, I have nothing to let go, I've already worked through all my stuff. Okay, just, chill, rest, spend time with family. But likely we've all still got some stuff to work through. So, Virgos, there can be some completion happening to long-term goals, friendships, groups, or community relationships as well. It's highlighting those Aquarian areas. And I'm hearing spirits say that it's inviting you to look at your friendships and your community and be honest with yourself about, do these people around you emotionally nourish you and nurture you the way that you nurture them? Right? Cancer. And if not, maybe it's time to complete some relationships. Maybe uh, there's some people we haven't been seeing totally clearly. Maybe there's someone who's, in a really adverse case, been emotionally manipulating us. Okay, so just be honest with yourself about the people around you and your long-term goals as well. And expect the unexpected, okay, because there can be some weird stuff coming up. I do like this full moon for going into like-minded community to celebrate it. Of course, the 11th house is community. Margie says, Virgo rising, excited for Beyond Mystic Conference. Yeah, the 11th house is conferences and networking, and I'm so excited for the Beyond Mystic Conference. That's going to be in March. I will see you guys there that are going to be coming. So Virgos, sending lots of cosmic love your way. Hope what I said resonated, and happy full moon in Cancer. Next, we have our lovely Libras, our lovely, beautiful Libras out there. You're having this full moon in Cancer happen in your 10th house. Whoa, this is intense because the 10th house is the Capricorn ruled areas of life. Capricorn is the opposite sign of Cancer. So Libras, you are going to be feeling this full moon quite strongly. And of course, you are a cardinal sign like Cancer. So your work, your career, your long-term goals, your parents, older people than you in your life, your legacy are all very highlighted, and there can be events coming up having to do with these things. And these areas are in alignment for you to be focusing on, okay? There can be, some reality checks coming up around your work and how, emotionally you feel with where you're at professionally in your legacy, right? Is what you're doing for work fulfilling you? Is it, I'm hearing spirits say, filling your cup? Or is it something that you're doing because of an ancestral pattern? Are you doing the work that you're doing because it's what your parents did and it's what your parents told you had to do? Is there any way that your family and your ancestors are connected to the work that you are doing now? And is there anything that needs to be let go from that? As I said earlier, I don't know if you heard me, Libra, at the beginning of this video, well, the first part of this video, this full moon in Cancer is a huge portal of releasing ancestral karma that doesn't serve us anymore. Okay. There can be healing breakthroughs and even miracles coming through having to do with parents or older people in your life as well. I'm hearing spirits say to you guys, Libra, dream bigger. So some of you Libras may be kind of settling in your work or your long-term goals. And I'm hearing very strong spirits say, dream bigger to some of you. Okay. Spice Dragon says, holy crap, Meg, you are so right. Libra sun here. Well, thank you for sharing that feedback, Spice Dragon. And I'm sending lots of love your way. And, Libras, even if you're a Libra that you're not working at the moment, maybe you're retired or you're not working for whatever reason, the 10th house is our legacy, and the 10th house is how we're publicly seen by others. So, Libra, how are you being of service at this time to Mother Earth and humanity as we're shifting into the age of Aquarius? Not everybody has to be out, being publicly facing, but are you walking your talk? Are you taking care of yourself, which, in the 100th monkey effect will activate other people to take care of themselves too, right? Are you nurturing yourself? So, something to think about. Sending lots of love your ways, Libra, and happy full moon. Now we move on to my fellow wild and crazy Scorpios. Okay. Scorpios, how are we feeling? We're lucky that we've got this full moon in Cancer happening in our 9th house of Sagittarius. Okay. It's one of the lighter houses, rather. And we have been getting with the Aries, okay, the two signs ruled by Mars and or Pluto. Aries and Scorpio have been getting absolutely hammered with this Mars-Pluto opposition, with this Mars retrograde. It has been heavy. Scorpios and Aries, you may be feeling moody lately. There may be major life challenge and conflict that's been going on. This full moon in Cancer in the 9th house is actually quite light, lucky, expansive, positive. Of course, it is a full moon, so it is a tension point of release. So for you in particular, Scorpio, there can be beliefs that you are releasing that no longer serve you. Take a look at your beliefs. What do you believe? What are you holding on to very, very strongly? And are there beliefs from your ancestors, from your family, from your mother, from your women around you that you're holding on to that aren't yours? Okay. 9th house also, is meditation. This is great full moon for you to be doing ancestral meditation in terms of healing or connecting to your ancestors as well. Channeling. This is a very spiritual, psychic full moon in the sign of Cancer in the house of channeling, the 9th house. So profound insights and downloads can be coming through. It's not too heavy for you emotionally compared to a lot of the other signs, but you're invited to look at your beliefs. Okay. Some Scorpios may be traveling to a foreign country that is connected to your ancestors, or planning a trip to a homeland destination having to do with your ancestors. Wait to book anything until after the full moon portal, which is January 16th. I would advise you to do that. Okay, Scorpios. But we can be feeling divinely inspired and light and hopeful with this full moon. So something happy, that I'm happy to report for the Scorpios. Of course, we've still got the Mars-Pluto opposition, Mars retrograde. We've been dealing with this since November, and October, and we'll be dealing with it till February. So it's not going anywhere. It's an underlying thing we're going through. Scorpios, I'm sending so much love your way, and happy full moon in Cancer. Okay, next is our Saggy-Waggies, Sagittarians. You're having this full moon in Cancer. Dun, 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 in the 8th house of Scorpio. Okay, holy shit. I was going to say holy guacamole, but this actually deserves a holy shit. Okay, excuse my language, because woo! Full moon is at home in Cancer. It's the strongest place for the moon to be. 8th house of Scorpio with Mars in the 8th house, Pluto in an opposition to Mars in your 8th house. Sagittarius, please be very mindful of family conflict and drama. Okay, full moon in Cancer, family members in your 8th house of crisis, intense situations with Mars in the 8th in opposition to Pluto. This is where there could possibly be a major blow up with family, major tension point, crisis point, arguments, Mars in the 8th house, conjunct the moon. So Amy says, "Oh no, Sag Sun, this doesn't sound good." LOL. There's good to it. Okay, I'm just sharing with you guys the challenging part of it first. Emotions are high and family dynamics are triggering and likely can be conflictual at this time. Okay. And if you're a Saggy, you're like, everything's fine with my family. Maybe just wait till January 13th, 14th. It's going to get very heated, likely. So don't take anything personally from your loved ones if there's any familial issues going on. Okay. Astrological remedy for this, I would say, is to do some shadow work, to do some real deal cleansing. Okay, maybe talk to a therapist, definitely do a salt bath, do some of those intense scorpionic cleansing protocols because you are releasing really heavy uh, familial patterns that no longer serve you. And if it's not necessarily connected to you directly, for some of you Saggies, it will be family members around you going through a crisis or being really angry or having some kind of conflict possibly going on. Another light side of this is your intuitive senses are very turned on, are very, very powerful. Cancer in the 8th house of Scorpio to water sign energy. So pay attention to your dreams, spend time in meditation. Spiritual cleansing practices can be very potent, but Saggies, this will probably be most intense for you and most intense for the Cancers out of any of the signs. So sending lots and lots of love your way. And, sometimes things need to blow up so we can move forward and release in a more positive direction. Okay. Deb says, I just had a blowout with my aunt. She was screaming at my sister for no reason. So I yelled at her. You don't get to talk to people like that. Sometimes we have to yell to get our point across for sure. So, okay, Saggy's going to be intense. You guys know I like to keep it real. It's going to be intense. I'm sending lots of love your way, but lots of magical energies at the same time. The 8th house, yes, it's scary. I'm a Scorpio. We can be scary, but we bring the darkness to light so that we can move forward in a more positive direction. Okay. Okay, next we move to our Capricorns, Cappies. You're having this full moon in full moon in Cancer, your opposite sign in your 7th house. So this is highlighting your relationships and others, okay? When we've got the 7th house highlighted, it's likely that other people around us are really going through something, okay? So Cappies, you may be having a love partner, work partners, family members, full moon in Cancer, family members, possibly going through some kind of intense situation, possibly even a emotional or spiritual crisis or awakening where Capricorns, you're going to have to hold space for some of the people around you. Okay. So you guys are one of the most grounded signs. You're one of the earth signs. So it's not hard for you to hold space. You guys are absolutely fantastic at holding space. And oh my God. Sorry, you guys. There was a very weird sound from right behind me. Oh, my thing fell down. That is so weird. This has never fallen down. Okay, Capricorns, 1 second. Capricorns, pause 1 second because everything to me has meaning. So Capricorns, as I'm talking to you guys, this fell down in my office, which has never, ever fallen down before. And this is my Celtic year natural solar and lunar calendar. Why is this coming up right now as I'm talking to the Capricorns? I guess it wants to be shown to you guys. I'll just show it to you guys. This is actually our natural calendar. So weird that this just fell down. Guys, this is what I'm talking about with this full moon and now the North Node in Pisces. It's like weird, magical things happening out of nowhere, okay? So, Capricorns, maybe this is a message for you specifically, but I think it can be a message for all 12 of the signs to one way that we can, it feels like not just work with this full moon in Cancer, but work through these times now that the North Node is in Pisces to help keep us grounded, like the Cancers, sorry, like the Capricorns, is to uh, tune into not the Gregorian New Year, which is bullshit. Okay, that was created by the Vatican to get us to start paying taxes, but to tune into the natural calendar. Okay, the moons and the sacred days. The spring equinox is our natural new year. Beltane, summer solstice, Luganasa, autumn equinox, Samhain, winter solstice. So interesting. I feel like Capricorns, maybe look into the natural calendar. That's something that is spiritually coming through as a message for you guys by my calendar falling down, which has never fallen down. And also for all of us, it's important to start looking into this. Okay. Uh, hmm. Yeah, Capricorns, I'm feeling like your groundedness is going to be needed to support others at this time. And there may be some endings going on with love or work relationships or aesthetic styles that don't serve you anymore. This is definitely a full moon where you want to be paying attention to your family, and you might need to be in a support role with your family. Seventh house can also be our commitments. So, are you letting go of commitments having to do with your family or what you've been carrying from your ancestors? Something to think about. Okay. Love you, Capricorns. Okay, Aquarians, happy full moon in Cancer. You guys are having this full moon in your sixth house of health, day to day work, routines, organization, excuse me, pets, day to day income streams, and the office space as well. So, Aquarians, this could be, the completion of possibly a health issue that you've been going through, a day-to-day work stream that you've been doing. This is a really good full moon for you to be cleaning out your office space, also for you to be cleaning out your home and your day-to-day spaces, perhaps doing some feng shui, cleansing out your physical body. Amazing full moon for you to be doing a cleanse or a detox. Whenever we've got full moon in the sixth house, or like Pluto in the sixth house, Mars in the sixth house, if we do cleanse or detox, it's like 10 times more even potent, okay? Where you don't even necessarily have to do something for weeks and weeks and weeks. You could do it for a day, 2 days, 3 days, the full moon portal, and you will notice a very big energetic shift if you do that, okay? So, Aquarians, there's also maybe physical issues that you've been dealing with that possibly stem from the emotional body, Cancer. So, good full moon for you to be doing emotional healing practices where you're tuning into if there are any heavy emotions that you've been holding on to or repressed emotions in the body. Are there places that you've been holding repressed emotions in the body that could be creating some kind of health issue? Something to reflect on. Love this for physical cleansing. Love this for cleansing out your day-to-day spaces and for being honest with yourself about your day-to-day work as well. And perhaps there's some endings or changes that have to do with that area. So, Aquarians, I'm sending lots of love your way and happy full moon. Last but not least is our magical Pisces. And Pisces are having this full moon in Cancer in the fifth house. Woohoo! This is the fun house. Okay, this is the Leo areas of life. And oh my God, you can be feeling Pisces. Okay, yes, we have Granddaddy Saturn in your sign. Yes, we've got Neptune in your sign. Yes, we're having the lunar eclipses in your sign. And it's very intense for the Pisces, for many of the Pisces out there, and challenging in some ways. Especially if you're a Pisces that's really out of alignment and ungrounded. But if you're a grounded Pisces, this can actually be very positive and powerful times. This is fun. This weekend and this full moon portal from January 10th to January 16th can feel freaking magical for you guys, okay? Because the North Node has just moved into your sign. your modern day ruler Neptune is conjunct the North Node, Saturn in Pisces, Venus in Pisces, stellium of planets in Pisces with the North Node, and then a full moon in your fifth house of fun, shining in your gifts and talents, confidence, play, the inner child. You can be feeling in this full moon portal, Pisces, like you're on another magical dimension fairyland. Okay. So this is very fun. This is very creative. Remember to stay grounded out there. This is fantastic for you to be connecting to your inner child, to literally be doing inner child healing, be doing things that your inner child loves to do, okay? Or to be spending time with children in your life can be very magical, very fun, and healing as well. Super creative, and actually a really good full moon for you to be showcasing your gifts and talents in the spotlight, okay? So, love this energy for you, Pisces. Let me know how you guys are feeling with it. And wow, we've gone through all of the 12 signs and the collective predictions for this full moon in Cancer on January 13th, 2025. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I hope that you hope that you like the new setup. I'm still getting used to it, as you can see. And again, shout out to my husband Jens for helping me create this. I would not be able to do this without you. And mwah, love you so much. So yeah, love you guys. Wishing you an absolutely magical full moon. This is going to be so, so special. Lots of information I shared. Might want to rewind, listen to the first little part again, because there is a lot to this full moon if you didn't catch the whole video. Before I finish up, want to mention again that I'm going to be hosting, so excited, my Pluto and Aquarius Master Workshop on Sunday, January 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Hi, Tracy. Nice to see you. Hi, Samantha. Nice to see you too. This is going to be a long form live workshop where I'm going to dive deep into what this transit that us astrologers, we have been waiting for. This is the freedom of humanity and Mother Earth, Pluto and Aquarius. So powerful. Okay. Going to talk about predictions for the whole collective, how we can navigate and harness this transit. Pluto is the planet of power and initiation and transformation, and also how each of the 12 signs can work with this transit as well. Did we get to the super chat goal, Philip? I know you made lots of super chats. Thank you so much for your support. I don't know. I can't see from my streaming program when we hit 10 super chats. So let me know if we do, or if we ever do, because I currently have a super chat goal that has not been hit yet to give away a free astrology reading. So no pressure, just saying, you guys, I don't know if we've hit it yet. So Philip, let me know if we did. Did we? Lakeside Laura says yes. Oh, we did. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, awesome. Well, Philip, you're going to get a free astrology reading from me. So I'll send you a message and get that over to you. Awesome. Chrissy says, love her long workshops. Thank you so much, Chrissy. Love you so much. Yeah, so come join me for this workshop. It's going to be on the Beyond Mystic Academy. Sorry, guys. I feel like I'm starting to space out a little bit. Starting to feel this full moon in Cancer, North Node in Pisces, magical vibration. So you can sign up at the link below in the description below. Going to be so much fun and very informative. And we always have fun in the live workshops. And it's from beginner to advanced astrology enthusiasts. Also, you guys, I do offer personal astrology readings that are available at the link in the description below. I have a PayPal tip jar if you'd like to buy me a coffee, if you'd like to support my content on my channels. And what else? Follow me on socials. All of my stuff is in the description box below. Got lots of cool new content that Jens and I are going to be sharing in 2025. We are so excited of all the new things we're going to be doing. We just got new cameras for our new setup. We're also going to be doing more travel vlogs, more paranormal stuff. So this is going to be very, very fun, and so excited to share all the magic with you. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Meg Moonbeam YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. And I will see you all very, very soon. Sending so much cosmic love your way. Mwah. Bye, everybody.